You're listening to Tipsy Book Reads. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Jess.
And we're tipsy. Too many books on my TBR. Yeah. This podcast is like a book club for the antisocial. We make a drink inspired by the book we read and talk crap about life and fictional characters. We really hope you listen and drink along.
Side effects of listening to this podcast may include reading vivaciously, extreme bouts of laughter, tipsiness from craft cocktails, talking shit about life and fictional characters. Listen at your own risk.
Just a warning, this podcast is explicit. We are all over 21 and there are spoilers. We warned ya. Hi, bestie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm delusional.
Delusional. I love that this series is just continuously getting more and more delusional each episode. Just constant downhill.
You're welcome.
Don't you love that? Don't you? Tell us if you do. And if you say no, don't tell us. Anyways, okay. What are we reading?
We are reading The Assassin's Blade. And we are on the third story, which is The Assassin in the Red Desert. So if you've read Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and up through that, you're welcome here. Or if you don't care about spoilers, you're welcome here.
That's fair.
Yeah. And we've got some trigger warnings for you.
Yes. Pretty much the same as before. Death, grooming, gore, and honestly, betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Bestie backstabbing.
That was really rude. So, highly recommend not listening to this episode if those are topics that you would not like to discuss. So, we'll see you in a little while.
On the flip.
What you drinking?
Okay, so for this one, we are drinking. I was trying to come up with a cool name. The Red Desert. So, at the little ball in the Red Desert, they have lots of wine, right? And the Red Desert is red, so it had to be red wine, right?
Right.
And then, okay, so this is a layered one because we all know I love layered drinks. So it is a gin sour topped with Cabernet. So on the bottom, the gin sour is inspired by the illuminescence of spider silk. And then it is topped with the Red Desert's red wine.
Wait, I want that. That sounds amazing. Ready to drink it?
Yeehaw, partner.
Yeehaw, partner. Come on, Ansel. Cheers.
Score some goals.
Mmm. That tastes just like a whiskey sour with red wine on.
Gin sour.
Gin sour with red wine. Okay, so obviously we've lost it. We gotta reel it back in.
My abs are
No, not the abs.
from laughing.
Here we go. Control, compose, conquer.
That's my motto. Oh my god.
Are you good?
So when we had the book fair a month, 2 months ago at this point, somebody pitched our podcast as Drunk History for Besties or something like
Wait,
that.
I love
and
that.
I was like, that's really cute.
I love the show Drunk History.
Yeah, they were like, if you like Drunk History, or somebody was saying that our podcast was pitched to them as that.
Oh,
Like-
who pitched that to them?
Someone, I don't know.
Someone else?
But yeah, somebody else
Wow.
pitched it to somebody, and they said, I like your podcast. It was pitched to me as Drunk History mixed with books and best friends or something.
I
like
love
And
that.
it was super cute.
That's so cute. Stealing that.
Yeah. So if you pitched us like that, thanks.
Yeah, if
It's
that was
very
you.
cute. Anywho.
Gold star for you. Okay. Let's dive into this mother trucking story.
Ansel.
Girl. Now, my girl Ansel, she's a little bit of a southern queen.
She
She's a
sure
little wild.
is.
She's a wild thing.
Wild thing. You know what I mean?
She's not making my heart sing.
No.
Okay. I will say though, to start off with, I was like, love her.
Yeah.
Love her bestie. Did we just harmonize?
It's like the game that we can never do unless
See?
we do it on accident.
Okay.
Yikes.
But I just have to point out that one of my top notes here talks about the food.
Yeah.
The food sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I'll go to the Red Desert.
1000%. That sounds delicious. I'm like listening to the story and then they're like talking about being in the lunchroom or whatever, and I'm mouth watering.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Hunger.
Yeah.
I think this one and the last one are my favorite short stories in Assassin's Blade.
I
Like,
love this
really
one.
love this one. Yeah.
This
So
one's my
good.
favorite.
I think
Hands
it's super good. So this Silent Master. Okay, so let's talk about the characters real quick.
Okay.
There's quite a few in this
Yeah.
one. So we of course have Arabin, the master of the northern.
He's not really even in this, though.
assassins, whatever. And there's Selena and the Silent Master. Is that his name?
They call him the Mute Master.
Yeah, that.
Mute. Just Master.
And Ansel and what's the Elias? Is that the
Sure. I don't know.
Mute Master's son's
I think
name?
so.
And then who's the one that she the Ansel's boyfriend?
Malachi? Mikhail.
Yeah.
Malachi.
Yeah, Mikhail. And
It's spelled Mikhail.
Mikhail.
Mikhal.
Yeah, and then who's the villain guy in the other town?
Oh, I didn't even write him down.
Brecken or something.
Sure. Brecker? Is this a crossover? Can you imagine,
Oh my gosh.
like, the crows meeting Selena? Wait a minute, I need a fanfic.
I need a fanfic. Somebody get on that.
That sounds amazing.
Oh my gosh. Obviously, like, pre-Nina dying.
Moving on. Okay. So much in here happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Betrayal. Witches. We get more information on the witches in here than we did when we met a witch. When we
swear.
met a bitch.
I swear.
Like, that was insane. Still doesn't explain how they're not magic.
Yeah, and how? Yeah, I don't get that.
Maybe we're forgetting something.
Maybe.
I
If
feel
we
like
are, somebody send me a message because I'm freaking confused.
Or we'll get there.
Yeah, that's true. We sure will. All right, let me get my notes. I got some notes. Okay, so first of all, the Mute Master, he's only 50. Like, all these people are so young in this whole entire series because Arabin's pretty young too.
Yeah. He's just being described as having silver in his hair,
Yeah.
which honestly could be any age.
Yeah, I got like late 30 vibes from him.
Yeah, probably. Yes. Okay. So, what about him? The Mute Master.
Mute Master. He's very cool. Like,
I love him.
I love him, but also I love how cocky Selena is.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I'm just going to come right in here and just absolutely start training with this master right away. She's like, okay, sorry to inconvenience you.
What do you mean I won't be able to train with you? I have a month. Girl.
And not her like whipping all four of those guys' asses like during the little test or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, oh wait, this is a test.
And also running of the Red Desert. The running 2 miles
Over
in the desert.
dunes.
Over
I think it was
dunes?
3.
Was it 3
Yeah.
miles?
So
Even
6 round trip
Worse. Oh my gosh.
in the heat.
The way I would never.
Okay, first of all, running in sand is just a different type of hell because like there's no traction.
No.
It's almost like running on a treadmill, but worse.
Not good. Yeah, not a good experience. And yeah, that just sounds horrible.
My worst nightmare. And the sand's probably hot. Like, do you think they have shoes? Because they totally could have shoes, but in my mind, they didn't. And running on hot sand,
I think they do because they were covered like head to toe to protect themselves from the sun.
I guess that would make sense. But for some reason, I was just picturing hot sand on your feet. And as a Floridian, I feel like
It sounds
we
horrible.
know that all
That
too
sounds-
well, and it's
It's like
ouch.
actually your flesh is burning. So, can we talk about, speaking of hot, the sun?
Yeah.
Is it apparently hot?
Spicy.
And she's just like, oh, you caught my
looking
eye.
at me.
And not only
you got my eye, and I
and
got yours.
What are we going to do?
And then Ansel, like right off the bat, besties. And Selena's like, I've never had a girly friend before.
That's
so sad.
Heartbreaking. On so many levels.
Especially because of how good Selena is, and she deserves that.
She does. I agree.
She deserves to have a bestie. Just not going to stab her in the back. But, yeah, that was so sad when I read that.
Yeah, that was so sad. You know what also was sad? Selena's punishment. You know what's wild?
What?
Sorry.
No, go.
What's wild is, okay, she looks at Sam because she's like, he's going to hurt him as my punishment. But she says it in like a way, like she's not fully understanding or comprehending the depth of what that thought meant.
Mm-hmm.
All while then it turns around and it's like, just kidding. He punished her in front of Sam as his punishment. Like it was vice versa. So they both thought
that. Very interesting.
I mean, they had to pin Sam down.
They did.
Crazy.
Dang.
Okay. The story of the horses. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place.
You are jumping ahead. But that's okay. But yeah, they did have to restrain Sam. It took 3 people to hold him down. He was not having it. Okay, so pretty much quickly into this, once she's at the Red Desert, we learn a little bit about Iron Teeth witches.
Yeah, so on the way to meeting this person that is attacking their silent assassin kingdom, palace, whatever. While they're on there, they're like bonding and stuff. And that's when we find out that Ansel has had an experience with the witches.
Crazy.
Well, her sister has. So her sister goes, and then her sister's friend like disappears while they're exploring this place, only for them to find out that it was a witch and bones were left.
Yeah. And when she looked through the gate, she said it was like looking through into another world. So there was like some type of portal situation, it sounds like.
Well, very similar. If you've read up to now, you should have already read up to Crown of Midnight, that when she went into the trailer, it was like way big. It was like a TARDIS situation.
Yeah. So bizarre.
Very.
Or like the tents in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely some weird stuff going on, and the witch sounds scary, and that Selena learns the only way to kill a witch is to cut off her head.
And I still stand by, we should have read this first before Crown of Midnight.
Yeah.
The order is wrong.
It is wrong, because that would have been important information to know, and the story of the horse, like, also we would have known that prior to. But... So, am I jumping too far ahead if we go into their, like, further into their trip?
No.
So, shopping. Selena loves shopping. But she's like, why am I being excluded, first of all? I came all the way here with you, and then I can't go in this meeting?
She wasn't in the room where it happens.
She was not. She wanted to be.
But she comes across a vendor that is selling spider silk.
Yes, Stygian spider silk, right?
And that's huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
But that is wild, and how it's like supposed to be a reminder
that everything has a cost.
Yeah.
And the poor vendor, okay, well, I mean, he did it to himself. But still, he lost 20 years of his
Life.
youth.
Yeah.
And it was interesting that the spider took it off of the front end of his
I
life.
liked that, yeah.
Yeah. He was like, I didn't know that part. He's like, I still would have done it, but
And I do it again.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, that's all wild. That whole situation is wild. Like, we don't know a lot about that at this point.
That's so true.
But while she's like walking back, Ansel comes in like a mood and is like, follow me. And they steal, what are they called? The Assyrian
Yeah, the Assyrian horses.
horses. And this is what they were talking about in Crown of Midnight when she just like dropped the lore
I
of
had
like,
one of those ones.
yeah, the heck.
Yeah. Which that whole scene was wild. I would love to see that like on TV.
Me too. And I liked that she was like not for it
Yeah.
until they were in the middle of it. And she's like, actually, this is great. This is freedom.
First of all, she's like, well, I kind of have no choice because now these people are going to shoot me. So here we go.
Well, that and like she knew she was in trouble.
Yeah.
And like she's there to be on the best behavior.
Yeah, she needs the approval of the mute master, and she knows that.
And stealing an Assyrian horsey.
This is going to have some consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So how about the cleaver of that they had to jump over with the
Oh,
horse?
yeah,
that
that's
was crazy.
She's like, no, we're
She's
not
like
doing
weighing her options, and then she's like, well, they're like ready to shoot me, so
Yeah.
I guess here we go.
Yeah. During that trip, they also find that like Ansel actually has a lot more in her backstory, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
Mm-hmm.
And so that is absolutely heartbreaking.
It is. And it's interesting how she did choose to open up to Selena about that.
Oh, I think their friendship was real.
Yeah.
I think if anything out of that entire story, it was that was real.
Yeah. Because they both kind of saved each other.
Mm-hmm.
Saved/spared. But yeah, so that's really, really tragic. Basically, everyone in her city or whatever was demolished, and then she got away, and she's got to probably have a lot of survivor's guilt about that as well.
Oh, 100%.
And it's interesting that she never told the mute master, but the mute master did know and was kind of waiting for her to bring it up to him.
I wonder if that was her test.
Yeah.
Because she never met with him.
Mm-mm.
Like to train.
That's such a good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting.
Curious. But yeah, the ball was also something that was fascinating. Like there was no music and they were all just kind of dancing to the beat of their own drum. Like
Yeah, and then
it's
some
giving
of them don't talk at all.
it's giving silent disco. Where everyone's dancing to like a different song.
Or like Baptist prom.
Yeah. Hey, they were having fun.
Yeah.
And they had wine.
They had wine. And Selena wanted Sam there, and she just kept thinking of Sam.
Mm-hmm. She was like, why am I thinking of Sam? Like the whole time she's like, why am I thinking of Sam? Why am I
There's a
doing
cute boy right there.
Like, who wants to kiss me?
Yeah.
Like,
But he's so respectful. Love
and she's
him.
never been kissed
I know.
before. I think that was so important for her innocence just because she's an assassin
Yeah.
at 16.
But she's just a girl
She's just a girl.
that wants besties and to be kissed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, the freaking training with the animals, the snakes. I forgot about that. How
I was like, can I
wild.
skip this?
But it is really cool.
I listened.
Yeah.
But I was like, I hate this.
But
it was
then
cool.
just the progression of all the different animals and how, like, I feel like Selena is always in such a rush. And, like, with her training, too, it's like, all right, who am I going to knock out? Who am I? It's like all this, like, wanting to be big.
A lot
and
of
bold.
energy.
And with the mute master, I feel like it was a lot of, like, sitting on a ledge and
Yeah, calm down.
watching an animal. And just totally the opposite of what she's used to.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that was really good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also she did learn a lot, and they were valuable lessons.
yeah, and she's often described as like fighting like a cat or like something like that, or she moves like that. So I'm interested to see in us as we're reading if she's described as like any of these things.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Mhm.
Because she learned it. She could have learned it here.
Mhm.
But yeah, even just like the walking sideways like a
crab.
crab. Like,
Yes,
so
that was
funny.
so funny.
But yeah, I loved that. And the hanging upside down like bats.
Yeah.
Stunning. I have a note that says, because you look better than I. Oh, about the makeup. That was such a cute scene when it was Ansel's birthday and she put on the makeup and she's like,
You're gonna have to wash it
you
off.
have to take it off.
Because you look prettier than me.
And we can't have that.
That's such a girlhood thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not.
I love that.
Like when you borrow someone's, like, your bestie's outfit and it's like, you wear it
Sorry,
better.
that's not fair. Actually, I hate that you look so good at that.
Love it for you, but
Yep. Okay, so where should we move from here?
Let's just delve into kind of like the core of it, what Ansel did and whatnot, and then we can dismiss. Oh, I guess that's what you mean, because we're almost out of time. Let's take a short break, and then we can dismiss them. Be right back.
Okay, we're back. Let's dive into the
Craziness.
Mhm.
Ansel, my girl.
She lost her mind.
Absolutely.
Drugs Selena, leaves her out in the desert, pretends she's the mute master, and Selena's just like, okay, well, fine then.
But then the further she gets, she's like, wait, something's going on here.
Your ice.
This is sus.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I want to open this letter, but I don't want to tamper with it because then Araben's going to be a butt. But I think I need to open this letter.
She learned
Opens
from
it up.
the pirate.
Yep. And alas, it's a friggin' blank piece of paper.
God, she realized it and headed back because she saw soldiers headed that way. So she came in just enough time to find the master and his son, like, hanging on
Yeah.
by a thread. And Ansel over the master with her sword to try to chop his head off.
Also, she killed her boyfriend.
She killed her freaking boyfriend. That was so weird.
That was... We don't... That's just like... Ugh.
Yeah.
You don't kill your boyfriend.
That's not how we act. That is crazy, though. Seriously.
She's like, well, he got in my way.
Mm-hmm. And it's sad because she has so much anger, and Selena could see that in herself.
Absolutely.
And was able to talk her down.
It's like misdirected.
Exactly. And so, like, that whole scene, though, of her being able to talk her down and out of it was, I think, really important. And I think building for both of them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Selena's a better person than all of us. Because she's like, I'm going to give you time to go pack. And then in 20 minutes, I will be up on that top. And I'll be aiming right towards you.
So you got 20 minutes. Also, here's your sword back.
Yeah. I mean, she knew she wasn't going to do anything at that point.
I know, but, like, that's kind of bold.
Yeah. So, the crazy thing is, she waits 21 minutes. And it just misses her.
Mm-hmm.
Another act of kindness.
Yep.
To someone who really didn't deserve it.
No. Absolutely not.
And to be rewarded, she gets a trunk full of treasures.
Yes. To pay off all her debts to Araben.
Yes.
Which is absolutely incredible. But, yeah.
Well, in the remark that he made that said, tell your master we do not abuse our people seal here.
Such a good point.
Yeah.
Preach.
Will do.
Yeah, because fuck Araben.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, I think I just love that extra minute.
Yeah, me too.
And
me too. So, do you have anything else to talk about it before we...
Not before we kick people out.
Okay, we're kicking you out.
If you don't want spoilers.
See you later. Like, comment, subscribe. See you later, alligator.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Ansel's one of those people that showed up in Kingdom of Ash.
Yeah.
Or was it Empire of Storms or Kingdom of Ash? One of the ending ones. And you're like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because you're like, the red desert. What? Okay.
What is that?
What is that? What is all of that? So this was immensely filled with information. And it also makes her so much more, like, make more sense.
Yeah.
As a character in whole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Because I feel like Irene, it's really nice to get her backstory, but the way her character is in the books, like you don't necessarily need this in order to get that, but her Ansel story totally left us hanging.
Totally.
And I mean, I would say Rolf too.
Yeah.
But it's just cool, like getting those extra pieces of the puzzle and being like, oh, and seeing firsthand the little acts of kindness that then made the difference and like made Selena's army, Aylin's army.
Totally.
It's really cool. But yeah, Ansel's got some issues. She's got some misdirected anger, but it's crazy what that one extra minute did for her life and how it kind of comes full circle in the end, you know? And like you said, Selena really didn't have to do that. Granted, like Ansel did spare Selena and try to get her out, and she was like, why the frick are you here? I sent you away. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye, bestie.
I sent you.
Yeah. And also it kind of reminded me of, which I know that they were actually trying to kill Selena, but later when she runs away from like the salt mines, it's like just kind of that trying to get out of range thing.
Yeah. Interesting.
And 1 extra minute. It's crazy. Because she would have made it. She would have made the shot.
Crazy is right. That's wild. That's really all I had to talk about for the after show.
Yeah. What 1 extra minute will do when it comes full circle.
It's crazy. Crazy. I can't wait for everyone who's reading along with us to experience that. Like
the puzzle piece.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Join us for next week's The Assassin and the Underworld. It's going to be an interesting one, I think. Very interesting one. So join us for that. And then we have one more after that. Okie dokie.
Bye.
Bye.